What's up, guys? Happy Sunday night. Had another couple good sales come in, so I wanted to show you guys what sold to round off the weekend. So first item that sold was this iPhone 13 Pro here. I actually got slightly screwed on this, so let me explain, and hopefully it turns into a good lesson for you guys. So I actually got two of these shipped to me from the same seller out of Virginia. They were $415 for both through PayPal Goods and Services. In the listing, there were no reported issues. Phones were apparently in good condition, nothing wrong with them. And so I essentially was planning to sell them both for about $630 together on eBay, or $315 each. So when they showed up, they had sort of the normal wear and tear of a used phone. One of them looked good when I went into the settings, checked everything out. But this one, actually, I'll show you guys on the screen here, it ended up having a camera issue. So either the camera was replaced on this phone, or the camera just doesn't work correctly. Basically, you can only use it in like 1 or 2 times zoom. So ended up getting $315 for the first iPhone and then only $245 for this iPhone. So I still eked out with a $73 net profit on both of the phones. And the reason why I was still able to come out with a decent profit, even when an unexpected issue arose, is because I sort of build my deals such that worst case scenario, I can still break even. And we'll talk about that more. But anyway, the second item that sold was this brand new sealed outdoor first generation wired IQ Nest camera. Sold it for $500. I ended up getting 5 of these total from 2 different sellers. I have $1,600 in 5 of them, so I have about $320 in each camera. So at $500 free shipping, I net about $100 profit per camera. So anyway, guys, when you're having stuff shipped to you online from just random individuals throughout the country on Facebook Marketplace, issues are bound to arise. Items are going to come not perfectly as described. So how do I deal with this? How do I deal with the fact that I cannot physically inspect the items that I'm buying? I can ask basic questions, I can ask for more pictures, I can ask for more videos, but if you're trying to secure a shipping deal where a customer probably has like a dozen local buyers they're going to swoop in within minutes to steal the deal from you, you have to act with conviction. You have to be decisive. There's no time to sit around and ask the seller about every single little scuff that might be on the item, every little feature that may or may not be working. So remember, we're dealing with underpriced items that have high demand, and we're trying to grab it remotely. So this is like playing Facebook Marketplace on hard mode. You have to swoop in quickly. So what does that actually mean in practice? Well, when I'm looking at a listing on Facebook Marketplace, I'm gathering all the data that I can based on the pictures, based on the description. I'm calculating in my head, based on what I know, what is the absolute worst case scenario for this item, so that if the worst case scenario comes true, I can at least recover my initial investment and not lose money. That's rule number 1 for investing and flipping in general. Never lose money. Okay, you may not make a home run every deal, but you should never be losing money. Okay, so look at these 2 iPhones I got as a concrete example. So in the listing, if the seller describes them as good condition, I can see the screens aren't cracked, I can see the backs aren't cracked, the camera lenses aren't cracked, and the seller can at least get into the iPhones and report to me, the settings. It's not iCloud locked, it's not passcode locked. What are some other things? What is the worst case scenario, other things that could be wrong with the phone that maybe she doesn't even know about or she's not going to tell me? Things like mic issues, microphone issues on the phone, speaker issues on the phone. Maybe the screen has touchscreen issues or haptic feedback issues. Maybe the side buttons aren't working. These are all little things that could be wrong with the phone that I may not know about, and I'm making a purchase somewhat blindly. I can't physically inspect the phone. So what I do is I go on eBay and I go on the sold comps, and I will sort by for parts are not working for the item I'm interested in. And I know that if I can at least get my money back selling it for parts, then I'm pretty safe, right? I have purchase protection in place so that if they never ship me the item, or they ship me, a box of rocks, I can get my money back in that case completely. But these little issues, I'm not going after every seller for little tiny things like this. You know what I mean? Major issues where the thing totally doesn't match the description, you can open up a claim with your payment processor. But stuff like this, you just bake it into the deal. So your margin should be big enough that you can absorb little things like this. So again, I'm doing a calculation in my head. What, in the worst case scenario, can I at least recover my initial investment? And in the best case scenario, is there enough meat on the bone for me to at least make 40% net profit or $100 total net profit. If I can at least shoot for those things in the best case scenario, I'm gonna pull the trigger, and I'm gonna pull the trigger fast, right? I don't have time to badger the seller for more information while, you know, John and Jim are swooping in locally to take the deal from me. You have to act very quickly. You guys actually saw in my last video, I sold a broken camera for $375. So in that case, I actually knew the camera was broken. The seller told me the camera was broken. But let's say you're buying a camera like that with very little information, poor description, bad pictures, seller doesn't seem to know much about it. Look up that camera for parts or not working on eBay sold comps. If you can at least get the item for, you know, a little bit less than what they're selling for parts, you know you've got this bedrock keeping you safe here. At the rock bottom, you can at least recover your money for parts. Okay, so that's a pretty good strategy. In general, I will often, when I'm comping something, I'll sort by parts or not working for just random stuff, even if I'm pretty sure it works, just to get a baseline, just to know, like, okay, even if a broken one sells for 500 and I can get it for 400, I'm gonna pull the trigger immediately. You have to take these mental shortcuts to be decisive. You have to make decisions quickly. So if I know that, you know, I'm getting an item for $100 and I see it selling all day, every day on eBay for parts for 150, buy it immediately. Even if it doesn't work, you're probably gonna make some money. And if it does work, you're gonna do very well. One thing I wanted to ask you guys in the comments, I always really appreciate when you guys comment and interact with the videos. Like I really just enjoy doing this. I wanted to ask you guys, like, do you do this reselling stuff purely for money, or do you actually enjoy it? Like, for me, this is actually a hobby. I am fortunate enough where my full-time job pays very well. In reality, I'm actually probably like losing money by doing this because my regular job pays so well. It would make more financial sense for me to just take another shift. But I just genuinely like love doing this. Like, it gives me such a rush to get a good deal. It's like kind of allows me to have a little bit of like a creative outlet. And that's why I love making these videos. So I'm just really curious, like, for you guys, is it just purely like a side hustle to make money and it's just a grind for you? Or do you really enjoy this? Because for me, it's like, I tried to stop doing this, but I'm like addicted to it. Like, I love doing this. I quit for a few years and I had to come back. Like, it's honestly, everyone in my family, all my friends think it's weird. But it's seriously just so much fun for me to do this. And even though it's a hobby, I still treat it like a very serious business. Like, it's like a game to me. I love to optimize the numbers and make the most profit possible. It's just like it's a game to me. It's like a scoreboard. My profit is the scoreboard. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments, like, how do you view reselling? Is this just money for you, or is it a little bit more than that? For me, it definitely is. But anyway, guys, give the video a thumbs up if you really enjoyed it, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.